I mean, that in the line of work that I was in prior to the chamber, that was my main goal and focus, is how to serve people that walk through our doors, and how I could just make this great experience for them in any sort of capacity. And then being a small business owner and now coming here to the chamber, I feel like I have that connection with other small business owners to say, I know what that life is like. I know what you're going through. And to be able to come alongside them and help them in any way that I can and serve them however I can is really a bonus for me.
Welcome to For the Record, a Wayne County Chamber of Commerce podcast, where real conversations meet real impact. We dive into the stories, insights, and experiences that shape our world, bringing you expert voices, thought-provoking discussions, and a fresh perspective on the topics that matter most. For the Record is proudly sponsored by Atlantic Casualty Insurance Company, TA Loving Company, Goldsboro Builder Supply, PDM Professional Data Management, UNC Physicians Network, Alta Foods, and Butterball. We're grateful for their support and making these conversations possible. And for the record, we're glad you're here.
Hey, for the record, I've got the Collins here with me today. So super excited to have Will and Chelsea Collins. Thanks for both being here.
What's going on?
Oh, not too much. Hey, Chelsea. Well, first off, welcome aboard to Chelsea. Thank you so much for blessing us with your talents.
Yeah, I had to travel a really long way to get here.
It's a very tough.
Across the hall.
Yeah, and I heard that the office was an absolute disaster when you got into it.
Wow, the last guy in here.
Jeez.
He was a mess. He was a mess. But let's talk about that guy. No, well, it's certainly great to see you. How's things?
Yes, sir. Things are great.
Sweet. Before we start, because we're going to dive in, I do want to say, Will, it's been certainly wonderful for the 2 years I've been here in Goldsboro, working with you on the chamber. Thanks for everything that you have done there. It was pretty amazing. I always enjoyed seeing you and Scott, and you certainly made the chamber a special place for us on the base.
Yeah, appreciate it. We appreciate your optimism. Every time you came into that room, we already knew what we were about to get. So thank you for always bringing the good news, man.
It was real easy when you're around great folks. And then with that said, this is our first married couple. Matter of fact, you're only my third person, folks that I've interviewed, which is a blessing. But I think this could be the for the record of our first time we're actually interviewing a married couple. Is that, anybody got that for truth?
We're going to say it's true, even if it's not.
There we go. Thanks, Gage. That's what we were thinking. So this is huge. So for all of our valued members who are out there watching and stuff like that.
Big moment.
But it is a big moment. And I will tell you why I find it a big moment is I love marriage. I love seeing two people who are in love. I see two people who are not only just in love, but they love their children. They also love Goldsboro. Mm. And there's something special about when we were talking just a second ago about youth. Even though some of you or one of you may be coming close to 40, it's a number, right? I consider you still young.
Thank you.
I do. You're welcome, my friend. But you are both game changers in the community, and I think, Will, you know what the For the Record's for, and it is. We want to hear, I just want to hear great things. We want to hear great things of folks who motivate us to be better than we are. And then essentially, when it comes to what we do here in the chamber, right, is to engage, equip, and elevate the voice of every member, every business that is here in Wayne County, and you do it. And so I have to ask you, how in the world do you do it? How do you juggle everything you both do and still maintain that beautiful relationship together? Will, I'll start with you.
Start with me on that one.
Yeah. I'm going to put you right on there because you've got to answer this one correctly. But
we stress a good bit. We stress a lot.
So.
We stay up real late to make sure we have that bonding time. I think every married couple's got that decision. It's 10 o'clock. I could go to bed now and get, a good quality 6-7 hours of sleep, right, or stay up and actually communicate with my spouse and catch up on the day. And you got to do those things.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
you do. Chelsea?
Yeah, I mean, same thing that Will said. Every night we kind of make this decision. Okay, are we going to go to sleep or are we going to eat cereal and watch a movie and hang out together? And we usually choose the latter. So we just make time for each other whenever we can. So.
Well, I think that's massively important, right? So I failed at that quite a few times, right? And a matter of fact, even in my personal life, I've been divorced before, and I don't think I made my wife my priority. Certainly do now. But when I see folks like you, you help motivate me to go, what is the number one priority? And while we'll get to what both of you do and how you've become successful, I think you can both say that your priority of putting yourselves, you two together as one, has done that. And it certainly benefited the kids. How are the kids? You got 2 boys and a girl. Chelsea?
Very quick to tell you, it's almost her birthday. But yeah, they're amazing. I mean, they're our everything, really.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah, is there a lot of sports? So at these ages, you've got sports, you've got recreation stuff, and then the 3-year-old's she's really 7.
Yeah.
At that point in time, because the sassiness starts a little early.
Yep, it's there already.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she's got it.
And they're all a little different. You got our oldest, he wants to camp, he wants to hike, he wants to play video games, he wants to ask us a million questions every day. Then you got another kid that's into the sports, football, baseball. What else, Chelsea? A little bit of everything. And then you got Lakey, who's just, like you said, 3, really going on 17, running the entire household.
Yes.
Well, and what's interesting is, and they don't know yet, but they see the impact that you make based on being the parents. But what they don't see quite yet, which we see in Wayne County, is your impact that you've made on the 119,000 citizens for this community. And so I want to kind of jump in on that right off the bat. Will, you spent some time in the chamber, obviously, a couple years with us. Or 3 years?
2.
2 years?
2 and some change.
2 years. And I will tell you, it's right when I got in, and I remember you jumping in, and I was like, holy cow, this guy is all about events. The way that you spoke and the way that you actually got after things really motivated me. I see that in the military. In my experience in the military time, I'm always looking for somebody, a leader. And I saw that immediately with you. So when it comes to that role and that time at the chamber, what was most special for you? And what are some of those great things you learned?
The chamber offers one of the best opportunities for change and to be an influence. And that was something that I was super excited about to take the job. I was a business owner before that. I was a director of a nonprofit for about 8 to 9 years before that time. When you work in nonprofits, you got to be passionate. You wake up thinking about it and you go to sleep thinking about it. And the chamber offers an opportunity to do that on probably the biggest platform. So when it comes to events, I took it serious. This is a platform to discuss big advocacy items that won't be discussed if we don't do this event. So if this event flops, that whole conversation was not impactful, and you may never do it again. And I appreciated the chamber because it's so many people sitting at a table that is brilliant. It's your smartest of the smarts. It's all your industry leaders, your education leaders, your healthcare leaders, all at the table sharing ideas. So who wouldn't be excited to come in and be a part of that and say, yeah, I'll reserve a venue. I'll make sure sound's there. I'll have delicious food. We'll make sure everything's in order. Of course I'm excited to do that because the conversation is way too important not to be excited about it. So that was the mindset I have of this event can legitimately shift your community to a better direction. Even if it's an hour or if it's a 4-hour conference, it's meaningful and it needs to be taken serious.
Yeah, and I think what's really cool about this is, so I always think that when I see folks doing great things, I always wonder who's also helping along that way. And I can tell you, it was really interesting. Not interesting, that's not the word. It was beautiful when you were talking about your transition. You were going over to UNC Health. And you'd reached out to me and you said, I've got the perfect marketing and events coordinator for you. She is far better than I am. And I had no clue what you were talking about. I honestly didn't know. But can you tell me the impact that Chelsea's had on your life and your career?
Yeah, how far back do we want to take this?
Well, we do want to find ourselves, because I think that it's the major part of a story. And it's something I think that's really important to tell about your story is that time frame, when you first got to, because you're both from the area, right? And so, and then she has just played a pivotal role, just like he has played one in your life. But I love how you told me, and I see your resume, and it's unbelievable, and it just fits really well in the marketing. But what was it like, even going back to the times that you first met?
Oh, Todd, I was a senior in high school.
Yeah.
we went to that same high school together. We didn't never mingle, never intertwine, never did any of that. I was a senior in high school, and there was this bleached blonde girl just walking the hallways.
Yeah.
This is not true, but in my mind, I
This
thought
isn't
one
true.
day
No,
I'm
no.
going
At
to.
all.
No, we knew of each other in high school for sure, but no, I agree with you. A mutual friend brought us together post college graduation, and I think we were in a situation where a lot of young 20-year-olds find themselves who are from Goldsboro, and then they come back. It's only temporary. You know, like in some ways you're not embarrassed, but you want to get that out there when you introduce yourself to somebody. I'm just here temporarily.
Yeah.
You know?
We do that in the military. We're like, no, I'll do 4 years and I'm out.
Yeah, that's right.
30
That's
years
right.
later.
So that's kind of where I was.
Yeah.
And that's probably where she was. And a mutual friend was like, hey, while you guys are both here temporarily, you know, y'all should hang out. And I met her at Starbucks there on Berkeley.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it.
No, that's it.
Literally. I think we spent every day together after that coffee
Really?
meeting, and then started dating, got engaged, and got married. Like I really think we counted.
It really did work.
And we were only not together in some capacity, like maybe 3 or 4 days.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So that was in high school. So this is over 20 years ago.
No, this was post college.
Post-college,
But we knew of each other in high school. Never
that's right.
talked.
You
Never
mentioned that.
talked. Never did.
Okay.
I'm sure she knew who I was.
Well,
Tom,
of course. It's
Yeah.
the Will Collins.
Right.
That's
Right.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, who didn't? But yeah, it was, and then from that moment on to really support you with your statement there, I was impressed right away. I'm not making this up. She was instantly just different, unique. When you grow up here, you get used to certain personalities, and meeting her, it was an instant like, oh, this girl's different. I like it, and I don't think that hasn't changed. I mean, every week I'm still like, this girl's different, you know, and I like it.
Right. Well, I mean, it is, you know, so not knowing you terribly long, I was so impressed when you had sent me your resume. And then what I was really impressed with was your background, you know, from going to Mount Olive University and knocking that out, right? But then going into photography, going into owning your own business, event planning, but then going into marketing, branding, your passion. And we've seen it already here in the first 2-3 weeks. You can see, and most folks will see it on our Facebook page or Instagram page, where you're highlighting things that our members, the members of the chamber, where's their value? And I want to kind of sit there right there, because it seems like that's something that's very meaningful to you is value. What sort of value you provide somebody. You've often seemed to be, and I bet if I predicted something, you've always wanted to help others and serve others. Is that so? It's true.
Yeah, I mean, that in the line of work that I was in prior to the chamber, that was my main goal and focus, is how to serve people that walk through our doors, and how I could just make this great experience for them in any sort of capacity. And then being a small business owner and now coming here to the chamber, I feel like I have that connection with other small business owners to say, I know what that life is like. I know what you're going through. And to be able to come alongside them and help them in any way that I can and serve them however I can is really a bonus for me. So
it's certainly a bonus for all of us. And it's neat how it can feed off each other, both of you. Because right now, Will, at the UNC Health, what is your role over there now?
So currently, by definition, Director of Marketing Communications. You could call it Director of Public Relations, if you will. So it's a little bit of marketing, a lot of communications, a lot of community advocacy work.
Now, and working with Dr. Jesse Tucker, the whole staff over there is just top notch.
Amazing.
And you're able to still
leadership.
use that with the chamber, right? And so you're still able to feed off each other. So is it very similar in some aspects of what you guys are doing together, of what you did at the chamber, at the UNC side?
I think nothing will come close to what we did when we owned the event venue together. I mean, that in of itself was, and we could talk for hours about the high levels of excitement, the incredibly low moments of stress. I do think right now we're looking forward to working alongside each other professionally, knowing that really our only concern is not keeping the lights on. Our concern is communicating a message, her through the chamber, me through the hospital, that'll impact the community. That's a lot more fun. That's a lot less stressful.
It's really
people love, they're like, hey, the hospital is going to be stressful. It's going to be a lot. And I'm sure it has its moments. And I tell them right away, nothing will compare to the stress that we had to go through when you own an event venue during a pandemic, and issues like that occur. I'm so glad we were married and happily married because it got us through those moments. That's the only way we got through it was each other. But now it's relaxing to be able to work sort of side by side in some entities, especially when you guys are doing healthcare initiatives, and it'd be a much less stressful environment.
Well, and we talked about that today. We've got a number of healthcare things coming up, the Rural Summit. There's a lot of things, but I do want to touch base on the tough times. I would say the tough times in my marriages sometimes become the best times. Yep. The tough times at work, the challenges I typically have learned the most. But during those struggles, what were some of those things that you learned the most? Because as folks are watching this, members, folks in the community who are married and stuff, this is one of the biggest problems that we'll have in relationships, right? Is work coming between us and how it struggles, finances, family. What were those things that you saw, if you're willing to share, and how did you overcome those? And Chelsea, I'll start with you.
Well, I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is the pandemic and going through COVID as honestly brand new business owners. I mean, we had owned the event venue for not even 2 years when the pandemic hit. And I mean, it was truly the hardest thing that we've ever gone through as individuals, as business owners, but also as a married couple. It affected us, it affected our kids. And I think that at the time we were living out in the country, and I think every morning when we woke up, we would sit on our porch and drink coffee, and we would just say, you know what? All of this around us is going wrong, but we're going to cherish and savor the moments that we have. At the time, it was just 2 boys, but, with our boys here, and just create, a life for them here and shut them out from all the things that are going on in the world, and protect them in that way. And just say, you know what, when we're here at home and we're together, we're going to savor this time, and the rest can be what it will be later. So,
man, that's good.
That was well said.
Yeah. How about you, Will? What are you thinking?
It was such a quick turnaround for us. So when we first opened the venue, it was successful right off the bat, and we were kind of like, oh, we knew we had a good idea. We really had no business. Opening a business, being business owners, we were too young. We were not financially secure, right? But we were just kind of young and dumb, and we had a good idea and talent. Like we lived off of really her talent, if I'm honest, and then my niceness. But
and the beard.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And we had success in the first year and a half, and so I quit my job and. We'll reinvest back into this is it, baby. We're going to do it. And then it was such a quick, it was just about a literal overnight, and I think she said it best. Our main goal was, one, don't lose all our money. The little bit that we have, let's see what we can hang on to it. But it was ultimately shield our kids from all of this. And I'm so grateful we had a little farmhouse 30 minutes away. That was the biggest blessing we had, was just like what she said, just be out there, shield them from all of our stress. I would go to the firehouse and cry, and then come back home and put on the happy face and be like, oh yeah, of course I want to play with you guys, It was just a lot of that. But you said it. I mean, our turnaround from that was our marriage is stronger than it's ever been. Our relationship with our kids was as good as it's ever been. I think they saw, no matter what, kids are going to see the pain and the stress and all that you're living through. You can't really hide it. You can hide the truth a little bit, but they're still going to see the impacts of what you're going through.
Yeah.
After all of that, we really did come out of it kind of stronger than ever. And it's something that, would I want to go through it again? No, by any, definitely not. But I am sort of glad that we went through it.
Yeah, I think so too, right? When I started thinking about businesses, they're the risk takers. You're the risk takers.
Yep.
I can't think of anything more honorable than somebody, a family, husband, wife, coming in, especially coming into our area, right, Wayne County, and wanting to invest. And while you're looking for prosperity, you're looking to improve the quality of life of everybody in this community. And especially you both are from here. And I think that that's great to see that investment too. But then you go through this period of time and it's tough. And you talked about, well, is it safe to say, and I think business owners need to hear this, because some of them are going through this right now. You really relied on each other. Is that what you found as your inspiration? Was there any other avenues that you thought that really helped curb that anxiety or that, really, what's the best way to say it? Not despair, but just like, what is happening? Uncertainty is probably the best word.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, in the middle of that, like I call it a deep, dark pit. I mean, because that's what it was. It really was each other and our kids, because that's truly all that we had. I mean, that was our full-time thing, and I mean, it really was just us and our kids. That's the only thing that really pushed us forward. I mean, of course, there were other things about, we want to push our business to be back and stronger and better than ever, sure. But the root of all of that was just each other and our family.
Well, now look at it. As we sit here and stuff, I mean, I think it's amazing how God works in different ways in people's lives. But so as we see you over at UNC now, Will, and we see you here at the Chamber, and we see how that's working, we see the impact that you continue to have. I hope you both understand that your story, your testimony, is something that hopefully some folks will actually reach out to us to see if they can get a hold of you. That's
they should,
purpose for the record, right? We're trying to make sure folks hear, and we want to be able to put those wonderful folks like yourselves out there so folks can learn. And so if you don't mind, I plan on, I won't post your, maybe I will.
You can post her TikToks.
Her TikToks. But you really are a game-changing couple. And with that said, you've rolled through that. You've obviously started working at the Chamber, and then now that you've come to the Chamber, you're at a place where you're able to still, the kids are doing great. You're both doing great. And so I want to look at a little more of that greatness on the UNC side of the house. It's a big part of here. It's a big part of Wayne County. And, as a, soon to be retiring military guy, by the time this airs, I'll already be retired. Healthcare is everything for us. It's everything for Wayne County. And I can tell you in the 2 years that I've been here, I have seen Dr. Tucker and his staff and you, along with the work from the military folks on base, really do everything they can to advocate for healthcare. What are some of those things that you guys are working on right now?
I think it's exciting. I'm going to say this first. The hospital is such a huge pillar of the community. There's so many people born there, so many people who've seen family members pass there. So many of us have either our happiest or saddest moments there. And I think it's important to recognize that there's so many people who work inside that building who are part of those same emotions. They're a part of somebody's best moment, part of somebody's worst moment. So my first 30 days there has really honestly been, it may sound a little cheesy, but it's the reality, super inspired that these people come to work every single day at that hospital knowing the emotional roller coasters they're going to go through. And I don't think we need to forget about that. I'm in a role where, I'm sharing the positive news, the optimism, that here's how we're growing, here's how we're getting better, here's how we're doing that. But I don't want people to forget that at the same time, there's providers in there going through it with their patients and their families and all that. But to be a part of that whole structure is really awesome, and to see the impact that they make in the community is great. And to get to your question, a big initiative right now, I think, is just educating our community on how rural health care functions. If you look, it's not a Wayne County issue, it's a nationwide issue right now when it comes to rural health care. It's hard to recruit physicians, it's hard to fund everything. Without getting too political by any means, there's Medicaid and Medicare changes that happen all the time, and that impacts your healthcare institutions dramatically. So again, big props to Dr. Tucker and his team at taking the hospital where a lot of rural organizations are struggling. UNC Health Wayne's doing a great job, and we want to educate the community on that rural healthcare is a priority, and it is a tough thing to do. But UNC Health Wayne is doing a great job with it. And same with all of our partners, all the clinics that surround that hospital. Right. They're doing an awesome job.
Yeah, I think so too. And, that's the name of the game here, right? Is if we want folks to come and enjoy Goldsboro, Wayne County, all the cities throughout Wayne County, they're looking for things, right?
Yep.
Well, I move here.
Yep.
They're looking at education, they're looking at opportunities, employment, and they're looking at UNC Health. Healthcare is a big one.
Yep.
And I hope that anybody's listening to this podcast or sees this or even gets a chance to talk to you, Will, because you're infectious. Dr. Tucker's got the right person there when it comes out.
I appreciate that.
And our community's got that. And because we'll talk about that in a second with Chelsea, because we want folks to come here. Why should folks come here? Well, because it's a great community. It's great people. It's a great opportunity to learn. But there are folks doing things, whether it's our elected officials who are acting. They're not just using the words, I'm seeing it in action. And I've seen it as a military member. They care.
They do care.
They care deeply. And so they're working things. And so thanks for sharing that about Dr. Tucker and the team and you, what you do there. But also over here on Chelsea, again, in just 3 weeks when it comes to the chamber type, you've jumped in, you've assessed. How do you feel where you're at right now about the chamber and where it's going?
I feel great. I was super nervous. I'm not going to lie. I was super nervous just because I've never worked in an environment like this before. I've always been my own boss, I guess. But yeah, I feel like when I got in, I just kind of hit the ground running, and Stacy has answered my 5,000 questions that I've had every single day. But I'm learning so much about what the chamber does and the resources that they offer businesses and all the committees and all the things. And I'm thoroughly enjoying my time here so far. And I hope that I can, bring things to the table for the chamber. I'm really excited.
Yeah, you've already brought it, and Will knows too. He sees it. We see it. Stacy sees it, and I know that I see it. And one of the things I think is amazing about that is about being previous business owners, and then seeing the value that the chamber has, whether folks are members or not. The chamber has the ability to connect people together, the advocacy for it, to be a voice for businesses to help where they can. But it really is, as a nonprofit as well, it seems to be something very near and dear to both of your hearts. As you spoke of working in a nonprofit before, giving back to the community seems to be something in your blood. Is it something that you could see going forward to the future? Who knows, right?
Yeah, I think always.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to be happy if I'm not helping contribute to something. So
Yeah. Well, you both certainly have. And so I'm going to end, not end this yet, but I'd like to go on this one and look about impact. One of my favorite questions to ask folks is what is somebody's legacy? Or what their impact is. And so, Will, I'll start with you. As you've worked and continue to work for others, serving others above yourself, what would you like your impact or your legacy to be?
I think I'm too young to answer that question.
Yeah, well, see, now with Matt Whittle, he loves movies.
Yeah.
And so he actually, when he was in college, he actually wrote movie reviews.
Yeah.
So I told him to write a movie review on him, but there'll be sequels.
Yeah.
So this is early.
Good, yeah.
But there'll be sequels. But
I think that I can give you a perfect example of what I enjoy. I did sports ministry work for a little under a decade. We'll call it a decade. Those kids are now, some of them are 30. And me and Chelsea will be somewhere, and I can see the kid staring at me from like across the restaurant or whatever. And I look at her and I'll be like, that's an FCA kid for sure.
Yeah.
And we'll make this awkward eye contact a few times before somebody's brave enough to go and meet. And when it occurs, it's always a hug. Every single time, it's a hug. And it's a real quick, how you doing? How's your family? How's all that? That means everything to me, because these were kids, perhaps when I first met them, they were 13, 14, on a path of, we'll just say, of probably not a successful life. We'll just say that. Yeah. And to see some of them with careers, making more money than I'm making, and I get excited when I hear that. Some are married, some have kids. Those are such amazing moments because you really do invest in nonprofit. You invest your time, energy, every available piece of energy you got. Sometimes your own money is going towards making an impact. And when you see these kids a decade later still excited to see me and call me the FCA guy,
yeah,
come on, that's it. So I think that's the legacy I always want to have, is just if my name gets brought up, there's a smile maybe, and that's it. That does it for me.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
How about you, Chelsea?
Well, this probably goes a little outside of like my professional life, but for me, I just have always loved and love the idea of inspiring other women to just be fully confident and fully themselves, and just kind of like blossom, I guess, as a young woman or as a mother, as a wife, and yeah, just really embrace just who they are. And to me, if a woman were to say to me, "You have inspired me to just be the most confident version of myself," to me, that is what makes me happy, and that's what I want. So yeah, just to inspire other women to be confident and be themselves. So.
Well, I'll tell you what. So, thanks for both of you for being here, because one of the great things about doing something like this is sometime your children are going to be able to watch this.
Oh boy, yeah,
yeah, they will. And
I hadn't even thought about that.
If it's on YouTube, they will find it.
Oh yeah, they'll see it
that's a
pretty
good
soon.
point. Or TikTok.
Yeah.
But I think it's important. My folks, God bless them, are not with us anymore. But I would love to have had an opportunity to see a little bit more of what they did.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what I'm seeing here between you two is, one, a couple folks who love each other, love their children, love their county, but your commitment to each other is what I think folks need to see. That's what makes great businesses run, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying you're a business, but there are certain periods of time where we have to make sure we manage time well. And it really motivates me to make sure I'm looking at Janelle to make sure, okay, where's my time? Because I've not done that very well. And there's some times where I went to bed early when I probably should have stayed up with her. And so thanks for giving me that. I really do appreciate it. I do want to do, this is a first. This is a first having a married couple. We already said that.
Boy.
And it's first with a lightning round.
Okay.
Oh boy, here we go.
Right.
go.
So I'm going to ask some random questions. I'm going to ask you both to answer them at the exact same time. And let's just see how we're doing. Right?
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. Favorite movie?
Inglourious
Inglourious
Basterds.
Okay, now we talked about that one. That word is good. We're good with
Okay,
that
okay.
one. Favorite band?
Bad Omens.
Oh, favorite band. Golly, I'm back to I never was an emo, but I listened to emo music. Taking Back Sundays probably, or Pearl Jam.
Believe it or not, I was listening to a Taking Back Sunday song a
Yes.
second ago.
Yeah.
Wow, we're so
So
Yeah.
close.
Old school Pearl Jam.
All right,
yeah.
coffee, tea,
Coffee.
mocha or latte?
I'm a boring
Latte.
black coffee guy.
Yeah, so I love just
Yeah,
I
just
love
a
those
black
straights.
coffee. Yeah.
All right, so pajamas to the mall or not?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be gym clothes for me.
Yeah, gym clothes. Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
interesting. I've seen a lot of folks wearing pajamas to malls these days.
It's
so-
happening. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
happening.
Hey, it's all about comfort.
Yeah.
and
You
the-
do you, I guess.
Yeah, and the last I would say Duke, North Carolina State.
None?
Okay. That's been a tough one since I've been here. That's good. You know what? I think politically, that may be the right answer to
Yeah.
do. I've
I'm
noticed
Sweden.
that
I'm
sports
neutral.
in North Carolina is a
Yeah.
little tough, but hey, I'm just going to end with this. I love you. Both of you.
Yeah.
You motivated me. You motivate Wayne County. But to tell you the truth, what you're doing day in and day out for the folks here is amazing. And I really like, if I could real quick, Will, the way that you said about our healthcare providers. Whether it's our first responders, our military members, our police officers, our firefighters. I know that's under the first responders. There are folks doing things every single day.
Every day. Yeah.
To save the lives of our folks, to take care of our folks, to take care of our children, our teachers. There's just so many wonderful folks in this community, and you both are serving them. And so it's certainly a
and
pleasure.
I'm going to plug the chamber real quick.
Yeah.
I hope that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's okay.
Yeah.
There's another reason that I think doesn't get talked about on why you should join the chamber, but it's, let's ignore the obvious benefits. Like you're going to network, you're going to meet folks, your business is going to grow and thrive, and you're going to learn. I think that what people forget is, and forgive me if there's another organization doing these things, I'm sorry, but the chamber may be the only way to learn about what your local government's doing, about what your healthcare leaders are doing, about what your military. Other than that, it's just a short article in a paper, right? Or it's reading comments on a social media page that are inaccurate. Getting involved in the chamber, it gave me a paycheck every month, and that was awesome. I appreciated that. But more than anything was just me. And I grew up here, and it was just learning how everything works.
Right.
And learning how there's very, very, very passionate people who should probably get paid more and more money, but they don't. So they're doing it for the passion.
They are.
Who are working every day trying to make this place better. And sometimes we think it's too slow, and sometimes it may be too slow. But that's not the point. We all have the same goal, which is seeing Wayne County turn into a better place for everybody who's here and the people who will eventually live here.
Well, you get a good point, and you led our committees, very, very well. And on the chamber, we do. A lot of folks may not know that the chamber has committees, Government Affairs Committee, that's focused on taking care of that advocacy portion, whether it's agriculture or whether it's business-wise. And then we've got our Military Affairs Committee, our Healthcare Committee, our Leaders in Faith Committee. It goes on, Small Business, our WISE Committee, It is. You're absolutely right. The chamber has the ability to really, really connect people together.
Yep.
And so thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you did that.
And I think you're the right person to take it to the next level. I really do. We both do. Yeah. She has to say it now. Yeah. But no, we're both excited to see what you do.
Well, I'm super excited. When you've got Stacy Johnson, who's just over here to my left, as she's taking notes to give me feedback after this to see how I did. To you, Chelsea, to Linda, to Janet,
they're all good.
To Kelsey, to our board. We have an amazing board. Harlan Neal does a great job. He's fired up. I was saying it a little bit earlier today, and I'm glad you brought up the chamber. Over 600 years of experience. So if businesses are interested, and for those who aren't, give us a shot, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
give us a shot. You've got 600 years of business, smart folks, wisdom, discernment that are ready to assist and walk along them all the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
So thanks, y'all. Boy, that was a great way to end it.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Hey,
that was
thanks so much, y'all. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.